luvs! Welcome in today's new episode where I will react to Maxton Hall. I will give you my thoughts on the characters. I will give you even my predictions on season 2. So in this episode, we don't give a fuck about my life. Me? We don't care because I go straight into the main subject, which is James Beaufort. James Beaufort. James Beaufort. Oh my fucking god. I hate myself. But honestly, I don't know if I hate or I'm loving the new TV shows that are coming out recently, because why the fuck are you letting me love and obsessed and simp for blonde men? Why the fuck? And don't get me wrong, I'm not a blonde man hater. I've always been if my heart wants me to love a blonde man, I guess it's my destiny. But recently, the blonde men that I've been watching on the TV shows are looking impeccable fine. Where have you been all my life? Because, I don't know for y'all, but in elementary school, high school, college, university, all of that, every time there was a blonde man, well, first of all, there weren't a lot of blonde men. There were maybe 15% in my grade that were blonde, and that's even a high percentage. Maybe 9% that they were blonde, and the ones who were blonde, most of them weren't cute. They were ugly. The other portion, they were in a relationship, and the others were gay. So I'm like, babes, I have no chance. But then, what do you mean? You have Cole Walter? You have James Beaufort? You have, I don't know who else, but what? Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. And he is the actor Darren Declare? I don't know his name. I'm so sorry. But the actor, being a Virgo, again, I don't want to, I don't believe in astrology, really. I just love to observe the patterns. But tell me why, recently again, in new TV shows and stuff, not blonde, Virgo mans are rising. What? The main characters are really fucking often Virgo mans. One day, Leo Woodell, the actor's name of the main character is a Virgo. What's his name? James Beaufort's actor is a Virgo, and Jeremiah from The Samaritan Pretty is a Virgo, and I'm like, okay, so there's a clear pattern here. Virgo men play well. I was about to say toxic man, but Jeremiah isn't a toxic man. I don't want y'all Conrad fangirlies to even debate with me. I've already did way too many times on my first couple episodes called I React to The Samaritan Pretty Season 1, and the other one is called the same but Season 2. So go watch it if you want my full-on opinions on this show. But Maxton Hall, before even giving you guys my opinion, I have to tell you, sorry, my nose is running a little bit. I have to tell you how I discovered the show, because it was during my final season. I was still procrastinating, and I was like, what should I do with my life? Of course, the answer is TikTok. So I scroll on TikTok, and then I see a little trailer by Prime Video of Maxton Hall, and I was like, well, back then I didn't know it was called Maxton Hall. I was like, what the fuck is this Enemies to Lovers? I need to watch it right the fuck now. And then, after doing some research, I've noticed that it was just a trailer and that the show was going to be released on May 9th. Unfortunately, when May 9th arrived, I don't know, I just forgot about it, because it has been weeks before the release of the show. And then my friend Chloe and Ariane were like, oh my god, have you heard of this show? Have you watched it? Maxton Hall, it's on Prime Video and stuff, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, oh my god, it's the show that I've been waiting for. Like, I want to watch it. So the night where I finally decided that I will start to watch Maxton Hall, I forgot my dad's, like, password for the Prime Video account, and it was like 1 a.m. and I was like, I have love for my dad, I won't wake him up for Maxton Hall with peace and love. So I waited the next day, and then I forgot my dad's password again, and I was not afraid. Whoa, I am not afraid of my dad. And I was more like shy to tell him, like, hey dad, can I have the password so I can watch Maxton Hall and like drool over a white blonde man. Like, I know I could have just asked, hey, can you give me the Prime Video password? He wouldn't even bother to like know why, but I don't know, I was just like, let me do my own thing, okay? I didn't need you to see that I keep on rewatching Maxton Hall over and over again on the account. So I created myself a Prime Video account and used the 30 days free trial. I have to write that down so I doesn't get renewed my subscription. But either way, I started the show and oh my fucking god. First of all, who in the fucking room said that 6 episodes are enough? Who in the fuck? It's only enough if the episodes are at least 1 hour long, and it wasn't the case for Maxton Hall. So, like, let's start from the beginning. Typical enemies to lovers, typical, like, bad boy, rich, arrogant, obnoxious, everything that I hate in a fucking man, and the cute little nerdy girl who's innocent, but, like, has an attitude only for the mean guy. She doesn't let herself, she doesn't let him not be better than herself, but she doesn't let him like win any argument. She's confident, she's a bad bitch. No, I'm being too much. You got the point. By the way, if you haven't watched Maxton Hall, that's a wrong idea to listen to my podcast because I will be spoiling a fucking lot. I almost died. Oh my god. Damn. Died before watching season 2 is crazy. Anyways, but yeah, at first I was confused on the language because why the I mean, I get it. It was based from a book. The book is made by a German author. I can understand why the show is in German. I can understand that. But oh lord, I didn't know what language, because by the way, I know I will get hated on, but I cannot watch a show and read and have like the original language that I don't understand and read the subtitles, because I will only be focused on the subtitles. I won't even be watching the actions and what's going on. Like, I tried and it doesn't work for me. And I've tried many times before. I cannot do it. This is not my path. So then I was debating between watching the show in French or watching the show in English, because your girl can understand both. Thank you. I started it in French, and then I thought it was okay. Well, James Beaufort character's voice in French was like, it was like a little like, like, oh, you think I'm bad? Like a little bit like that. But it wasn't that intense, so I was like able to cope with it. And then I told Chloe, I sent her some Snapchats. I was videos on Snapchat, and I was like, hey, I started the show Maxton Hall, like, and she was like, oh, in which language did you listen to it? Did you watch it? And I was like, in French. She a little bit bullied me. She was like, girl, you watch that show in French, like, you cannot do that. And and she was judging me also, because right before she was like, oh my god, like, if you watch the first 2 episodes today, you can come to my house and we could watch together episode 3, because I've already watched the show and episode 3 is my favorite and I want to see your reaction and blah 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 blah. And when I told her that I started it in French, that's why she like kind of believed me. She was like, girl, I am not watching episode 3 of Maxton Hall in my house in French. So because of that, I switched the language and I watched it in English. It wasn't better. I mean, I feel like the voice actor of James Beaufort was better, but Ruby Hall's voice actress wasn't better. So, you know what? You cannot have it both ways. So I watched the show in English, and I debated to rewatch the show again, but in German and with the subtitles, because if I've already watched the show, I don't care rewatching it with the subtitles, of course. But that's the thing about the language barrier. That's my little portion. It was probably unnecessary. I feel like I spent way too many minutes on it. But yeah, that was my first thought. I was like kind of confused in the first 10-15 minutes of the show because of the language. And the fact that it's like the TV show, it's the story, it sets in Britain. What's the name? Queen Victoria and shit. Britain. One Way, Oh Another, One Direction, like Big Bang. Whatever, in Britain. Wait, London! Is it in London? I don't fucking know. You know I love a London boy, so long, London. What was I saying? Sorry guys, I am so sorry. I need to focus. What was I fucking saying? Oh yeah, Maxton Hall. So in the beginning, after like the first 10-15 minutes where I was really fucking confused, I really love the show. I really love the enemies part. My little complaint is I wish that the enemies phase, like they were enemies at first, and then they were like cordial, kind of friendly to each other's, and then they started becoming lovers. But I wish that the enemies phase was longer, because if you've watched my podcast episode about my opinions on book tropes, which the title is My Opinion on These Book Tropes, I think, when it came to the enemies and lovers book trope, it's one of my favorites, but it has to be done in a certain way to be my favorite trope, and if it's not, it can easily be like a trope that I don't really care about. But like, to be more precise, for me, the enemies like portion of the storyline has to be long enough where I really fucking believe that these two individuals hate the fuck out of each other's, and they have to do actions towards each other that are really like mean and spiteful, that really, me as a viewer, makes me hate the other individual, or even both of them, where I really can understand and fully believe that y'all are two true enemies. And I felt that it lacked a little bit of that part. Like, when he called on the strippers, when this girl organized the whole little, like, ball, or not the ball, the little events at her school, was it like open doors for her school, whatever shit, and the motherfucker called strippers. And the little look that he gave her, like, that's what you get when you don't do what I say. I was like, damn, that was fucking mean. And not gonna lie, even though I wish that they were longer enemies, I feel like the actor really fucking James Beaufort actor really did a great fucking job. And even in the enemies portion of the TV show, I was like, really, like, I don't know if it was triggering for me or anything, but like, I was like, damn, like, he's really fucking mean. Like, he just reminded me at a certain point of a guy I went to high school with. like, he was so mean, that guy from high school, and just the guys from my high school in general. So, like, I kind of got triggered a little bit by that. So at first I wasn't really, like, obsessed and, like, in love with James Beaufort, but I quickly changed my mind because my heart has its reasons. Ew. And I really loved also the fact that I loved Ruby's family dynamic. Like, his father, his mom, her sister, like, they felt like so genuine and such, like, good fucking people that, not gonna lie, like, every time that she had a scene with her dad, I was this close to cry, and also every time she had a scene with her sister, I was this close to cry, because I was like, that is the reason why I always dreamed to have a sister, is to have this type of bond. Like, for example, when she asked her sister to, like, sew her the dress because Mr. James Beaufort didn't want to, like, go in his little family's company get her a Bridgerton type of dress, he was like, go figure it out yourself, I believe in you, you're smart. That was hot, but, like, whatever. And she goes to her sister to, like, ask her to sew her a dress because her sister, I guess, knows how to sew. And I was like, and her sister didn't even, like, was annoyed by it. She was like, of course I'm gonna do that for you. And she spent the whole fucking night, no hours of sleep, just sewing her little dress. And I love the fact that Ruby didn't, like, just do her own thing afterwards and let her sister sew her dress. She stayed with her during the whole fucking process. She stayed awake. She tried to entertain her at the same time, you know, making little jokes. I fucking love that. Because she could have easily been like, okay, bye, let you go, see you when you finish sewing me my dress. And then when Ruby burned her fucking dress afterwards, and when her sister came in the room and saw the accident, she wasn't angry at her, because maybe that was the only unrealistic part, well, one of the only unrealistic part of the show, because if this was me, Amber, that's Ruby's sister name, I just remembered, if I was Amber, I would have snapped the fuck out of my sister. What do you fucking mean? I just spent the fucking night, because you know me, I love my hours of sleep. Just spent the whole fucking night sewing you that fucking little dress that you could have just went to a fucking thrift store and buy it your fucking self. And you asked me, and I gently said yes because I am your sister and I love you, and I just turned my back for 10 little minutes, and you fucking burned the whole thing? I was about to say that some punches were about to be thrown, but no, I would have just screamed, of course. And instead of that, Amber just looked at Ruby and she was like, oh, it's okay. Maybe I'm a bad sister, I don't know, but, like, I would have at least screamed of anger, of frustration, of, like, I literally just finished it, not even 10 minutes ago. Other than that, I love her fucking family dynamic, like, they seem just so fucking sweet, and her saving money for her dad so she can buy him, like, his little chair that he can, like, his chair on the stairs so he can, like, finally go upstairs and downstairs as he wants, and it will be just more easier for him. I was like, damn, this girl, she's fucking working hard she's fucking working hard to get to Oxford. She's working a part-time job at a little cafe. She's dealing with an asshole, hot-looking ass man, and has the pressure of saving money for her dad. What the fucking fuck? I can barely survive an 8-hour shift. What the hell? So that really, like, I loved how the show showed us different facets of Ruby's character. Like, we had her in her family, to see her with her family dynamic, with her sister, with her friends from school, with her interact with the teachers, and her seeing her also like being able to socialize easily with other people. I love the fact that I feel like it usually, like in TV shows and books, when they try to write the main female character, she's always like a nerd who doesn't have any social skills, who's like cannot fight for herself and blah 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 blah. And I love that Ruby's character was kind of far different from that. It made the show really more. It made the show. Well, this fact made me appreciate the show more, and it didn't make me feel like I was watching a kid's show. So I love that. And also James Beaufort family situation. What the fuck is that? Like, imagine growing up and having that as your father. This is just horrible. Like, the way that his father, him and Lydia's father, didn't give a single fuck about them. He didn't even care about his wife dying. No fucks, no given. He was just like, I didn't want to bother you guys. What the actual fuck? And that's, honestly, when I saw that scene, I was sad, confused, and angry, and also scared. Because I'm like, men really do not give a fuck. I could be married to a fucking great man, and one day he fucking switches his mind and become James Beaufort's father. What? Oh my fucking god. And tell me guys if I'm the only one. Maybe I'm like, you know, it's good to be woke, but I feel like sometimes in specific cases it's kind of bad to be too woke, you know? And I feel like what I will say may sound as me being quote unquote too woke, but am I the only one who kind of felt uncomfortable about the whole Lydia and her teacher's relationship arc? Like, it gave Arya and Ezra 2.0 from Pretty Little Liars. And for those who don't know, I used to watch Pretty Little Liars when I was like in middle school. I started watching it when I was in middle school, and I don't know why. Well, now I do know why, but I've never like rooted for Arya. Sorry, I pronounced it bad. For this girl's relationship with Ezra, like it always made me uncomfortable, because I'm like, girl, it's your teacher. Like, I've never been a fan of this like fantasy of dating your teacher, and no one should be a fan, don't fucking get me wrong, but I just always felt weird that was portrayed and romanticized in a show, well, back then Pretty Liars. And now when I saw it again on Maxton Hall, I was like, I think we could have left this type of arc and relationship teacher student in the 2010s. Now we're in the 2020s. Be more creative. So that really made me uncomfortable a little bit, not gonna lie. And when he would be like, Lydia, I love you so much, I'm like, you're 30. What do you have in common with a 17-year-old? Like, I smell the prison case from far away. Like, it just, I couldn't like root for them. And it kind of makes me sad that younger people who are watching the show may be rooting for them. Like, people at my age were rooting for Arya and Ezra in Pretty Little Liars, you know? So that when they both like officially broke up and Lydia gave him no contact, I was like so fucking happy. I was like, girl, know your worth and know he's a motherfucking groomer. Oh my god, I was about to start giving you guys my little predictions, but I still haven't finished reviewing the show. Oh my god, can we talk about, what's his name? Is it Frederick? Ruby's and Lynn's best friend. You know, at school Ruby was friends with Lynn. her friend who used to be rich and now she's kind of broke, and the other guy, the nerd, who's kind of like has a crush on Ruby. Am I the only one who thinks this guy is like cute? But I don't think he's that cute, because while I was watching the show, at first I was like, oh, he's cute. Like, you know me, I love nerds. And I was watching the show, I was like, oh my god, he's cute. And then he did like a certain like he didn't do anything. The camera was like shot in a certain angle. I was like, oh, he looks like Noah Schnapp. I don't like that. I really don't like that. First of all, because I always associate, and I know that the actors won't like that, but every time that I watched a show or a movie and these characters were kids and I was older than them, in my head they will forever be kids. So maybe it's bad what I mean, it's good because I cannot see them as beautiful people, at least for the guys. Sadie Sink is a beautiful woman, same as Millie Bobby Brown. But for the guys, I'm like, I don't know, it just makes me uncomfortable. I cannot do that. And second of all, I didn't like that because Noah Schnapp's Zionism, like, it's all free Palestine here, okay? Safe space. But, yeah, so once I saw him at that angle, I was like, ooh, he's not that cute. But then I was like, that's kind of, like, insulting to, like, think you look like Noah Schnapp. Anyways, but it was a really unnecessary parenthesis what I just did. And also, the outfits were so fucking good. I know they mostly wore uniforms, but like, I really like the characters' outfits. Like James Beaufort, they knew it exactly how to dress him. I love that they didn't overdress him in the sense of they didn't like dressed him in a way that was like too rich to the point where it feels like costumey and feels like a costume and feels like not that genuine and authentic. It was just right, spot on. And I love that he also like his outfits were pretty simple, and I feel like that's what rich people would wear, like simple outfits, chic, casual sometimes, color coordinated, with a beautiful, like, vintage watch, and you call it a day. And with your little sunglasses. I love that. And talking about James Beaufort, and same for Ruby, by the way. I've seen some TikToks of, like, girls being like, oh my god, Ruby's hair is really fucking ugly. Like, even more in episode 3, in the dancing scene and blah 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 with her curls. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, in my head, it's so pretty. It just feels, like, effortless to look. Like, it's not, don't get me, like, it's not extraordinary, but it's not ugly. Like, it's kind of cute. And people were like, oh, it's because in the book she's supposed to look poor and stuff. And I'm like, okay, but being poor doesn't mean having no hygiene. Because I know a lot of rich people who have no fucking hygiene. Alex Earl. I'm only saying that because I've seen that vomit on your dress in your closet, and I've heard the little swimwear poop incident. That these both things, I didn't want to hear them. I didn't want to know that you did that, but the internet gave me that info, and I'm like, like, it literally, like, traumatized me in a sense of once every 2 weeks, I think of that, and I'm like, Alex, you really fucking did that? You really fucking did that, Miss Girl? Anyways. But, yeah, it's not because you're poor that means that you don't have any hygiene. So, like, that was just mean and unnecessary, and I was like, I don't stand with that. And by the way, am I the only one to think that Ruby's, the actress playing Ruby, Harriet, I think her name is, she looks so fucking much of Kendall Jenner. Oh my god, like, she's from her nose till her forehead, I guess. She looks so fucking much like Kendall Jenner. And it was so intense to me. I was like, oh my fucking god. And I've seen other TikToks of people saying, oh, she also looks like Victoria Beckham, where on paper I can see it. I can understand why people think that. But for me, it's Kendall Jenner. And I'm like, oh my fucking god. Like, it's so intense, the resemblance. I'm like, Kendall, do you think she looks like you? I almost DM'd Kendall for that. Don't care about Kendall Jenner. And also, can we talk about Ariette, Ruby's character? Well, Ruby, the actress behind Ruby. How also her is pretty and natural pretty. I'm like, it's such a fresh breath of air to see like main character, a female main character being like all natural, or at least seems like she hasn't done anything to her face. I was like, it really felt good, and it really like made me realize that I don't want to like be shady or anything, but like it made me realize the beauty of like foreign TV shows, and not only by the fact that the characters are more looking natural physically, but also like, I don't know, I love to discover like the way that they express their ideas through cinema, and the way that they shot their angles and the storylines and the plot twists and blah blah blah. I really, that's one of the things that I really love about foreign TV shows. And what else did I love about this show? Oh my god, the arguments that Ruby and James would have like in the middle of the class. Excuse me. Like, even if I hate someone deep down in my fucking guts, I think it's so embarrassing. Like, I was the type of student, because I graduated uni. Still processing that. But I've always been the type of student to like, I don't want to bother anyone. Even less the teacher. I just want to like go in class and leave and like be like forgettable. Honestly, that's what I wanted, I guess, now that I finished. But, and the idea of them just argumenting and yelling and saying some mean fucking things. Don't get me wrong, I said in the beginning that James was doing and saying some mean things, but Miss Girl Ruby also did. Oh my fucking god! Like, the things, when she said like, oh, the fact that you switched up, it was so easy for you to switch up, just like your father, and now you just like sound like your father and blah blah blah. I'm like, oh my fucking god. And when she said the thing about people just care about like your last name and your family's like fortune, they don't care about you, they have no clue of who you are, and they don't care, like they don't care to get to know you. I'm like, horrible, oh my god. I would change schools, honestly, because she ate. Like, she just spoke facts. So I would even more change schools because of that. Like, come on. What else did I love about this show? Oh my god. Other thing. I know some of y'all may disagree, but for me, I think it's one of the only things, at least for now, that it was kind of icky that James did. It's the fact that he has his fucking chauffeur, his driver, driving him everywhere? Huh? Like, okay, if it's at school and like little things, like if you want to like go to a party and you want to drink and stuff, okay, I understand. You have a chauffeur, use this service, I guess. But if you're going on a date, or like just want to impress your girl and stuff, like Ruby, come on, you know how to drive. I think he's like a senior in high school, so most seniors have their driver's license. Like, come on, that was kind of icky for me, because I'm like, I don't know, it's embarrassing. Like, if they talk like in a backseat, the chauffeur is hearing everything. Like, stop. Like, for me, that was embarrassing. And that was a little bit of an egg. And what else did I think was an egg? An egg. Oh my god, at the, like, when they were at Oxford, and when, like, they were, like, argumenting again in front of the whole class, and he was, like, telling Ruby, like, oh, am I interrupting a date? Because the guy who were, like, guiding them in Oxford was a hot guy. I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks that he's hot, but I didn't see any TikToks or comments of people saying how pretty looking this guy is, but he's so pretty. Like, everyone in the show is pretty. Like, what do they drink in Germany? I should go there. But talking about Germany, I don't know if one of my friends is listening right now, and if you know this fact about me, but I have an aunt, my sister's mom, who lives in Germany. And actually, my mom and I were supposed to go to Germany for, like, to spend at least, like, 1 month, maybe even more, in the summer of 2020. And just by the year, you can tell that this little project was cancelled because of Miss Rona. So imagine me going to, if Miss Rona didn't exist, and I went to Germany, and, you know, spend time with my aunt, spend time with the family, spend time with my cousins. Of course, they would have taught me some, like, German phrases, sentences, little words and stuff, the bad ones. Why did I do that? I'm really embarrassed. Like, this isn't me anymore. The one who just did this facial expression isn't me anymore. Like, I've learned. But, and I imagine, like, I was being delusional, like, yesterday, and I was like, what if I would have, like, met the actor playing James Wolford, and, like, at a random little cafe, and, like, apparently he speaks French, and we would have spoken French to each other, and, like, we would have been madly in love, and, like, the delusion is delusioning. Miss Girl is crazy. But, you know what? It could have happened. As if Germany isn't a fucking big country with millions of people living in it. But, like, it may have happened. Maybe, like, 0.0000001% of chances that it would have happened. You know? It's fine. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I learned that every fucking day. But yeah, it was a really good show. I'm excited because they renewed season 2. So happy. And apparently not only did they renew season 2, they are already filming it. Guys. And I'm so excited for the little predictions that I made. And it was hard to search for people's opinion, thoughts also on what will happen on season 2, because a lot of them were telling literally what will happen on season 2 because it's based from books. And I'm like, it was hard to not get spoiled. I didn't get spoiled, thank the God. So let's listen to my little predictions. So my first one, knowing that there is 3 books. First one is called Save Me. Second one is called Save You. And third one is called Save Us. So knowing that season 1, the person that was saved technically was Ruby. She got her dream university thing. She got her letter of recommendation. She got her father's present. She got herself a boyfriend. Like, of course she got, all these elements made me think that maybe the first book was more based on Ruby's character. And because the second book is called Save You, and by the end of season 1, where James learned that his mother died and that his father clearly doesn't give a fuck about him, and he realizes that his family situation is really fucking shitty, and he's kind of like, he went away and went to Ruby's house, and he just stayed outside the window to look, because he saw that her family were having a dinner and they were laughing and they were like having a really fucking good time, and he realized, James at least, that what Ruby is having with her family is what he dreamed of ever since the beginning of his life, and he knows that it will never happen to him, unfortunately, because his dad is crazy. And he just ran away. Like, he didn't like knock on Ruby's door, he just left. So it makes me think maybe he will have like a little like sabotage type of like situation, sabotage towards himself, and thinking like that Ruby deserves so much better than him. And because of the second book is called Save You, I think that second season will be more focused on the evolution of James' character. And third season being called Save Us, something of course will happen at the end of season 2 where it will be really intense and dramatic, where like it's not a little like jealousy type of situation, like it's more intense than that. And at third season they will have to do everything and anything to save their couple, I guess. I feel like that was kind of like a duh type of realization, but I told it to my friend like a couple hours ago, and she was like, oh my god, I haven't thought of that. I was like, oh, am I smart? So my first prediction, and it's the only one that I heard on TikTok, is that people think that James' driver is actually his father. And honestly, realistically, I do not believe in that, because I'm like, if the chauffeur was his father, I feel like the one who are casting the characters for the show really did a bad fucking job, because James looks nothing and Lydia looks nothing like half Asians kids. So I'm like, I don't believe in that. And also it's like too intense. Like, why would the chauffeur stay in that situation if he knows that these are his children? And maybe you may tell me, oh, maybe he doesn't know that these are his children. I feel like he would know. I feel like spending that much time together, seeing them grow and seeing their personality, you would fucking know. You would be like, that's my son, that's my daughter. That's son or gay son. What? No, daughter, gay son. Sorry. But yeah, so I don't believe in that, but I do think that the driver had a little relationship with James and Lydia's mother. Maybe they had a relationship like 20 years ago, or maybe she cheated on her husband with the driver. Because I feel like the driver, yes, he can care about James, because, you know, he's known him for a while. He treats him like a son, but I feel like he cares a little too much for James to just be like, not a random guy, but I don't know. I feel like the driver is more attached to the family than what we think. And I don't think that, because there's also a theory that I heard that maybe the dad, what's his name, Mortimer Beaufort, that the dad killed James' mom, and that he killed his mom because he realized that she cheated on their driver. And I don't believe that. Like, I don't know, it's like, I don't know, I don't really believe that. I'm like, that's too easy. And I feel like he doesn't care enough to do that. Like, he hasn't feeling. I don't believe that he has feelings for his wife to be that angry and jealous that she cheated on him with their driver, you know? But I do think, my brain thinks that he actually, Mortimer, whatever, James' dad killed his wife accidentally. Let me explain. Knowing that James' mom, she had a little discussion with James, and she was like, my grandparents went to Oxford, my parents went to Oxford, I went to Oxford, you should go to Oxford. Of course, like, it's evident, it's written on the sky. But I think that James actually will go to Oxford, of course. And that, unfortunately for him, his father will learn that James went again against his father's words when he said that I don't want you to be close and to have a relationship with that Ruby Hall girl. I don't want that, and if you do, I will ruin that girl's life. And I don't know really the details. I haven't predicted the details on how the father will learn that information, but it will make him angry that the fact that he's losing the idea of having James as the face of young Beaufort because Ruby is a threat in his opinion. And when he learned that James still has a relationship with Ruby, he will be so fucking angry, and he will go on to tell his wife that they need to make him change universities because he cannot stay at Oxford because he will stay in relationship with Ruby, so they need to transfer him. But his wife will be against that because of the family tradition that everyone in her family went to Oxford. So she will stand on her ground that her son will go at Oxford no matter or not if he's dating that little Ruby girl. And for the mom, if you've noticed, she doesn't really care or see Ruby as a threat. She doesn't really care on who her son is dating, honestly, but only her husband cares. So they will have a disagreement, and I don't fucking know how, but maybe he pushed her, like, because he was angry, and I still do not justify that, don't get me wrong, but he pushed her because he was fucking angry that she hit his wife isn't agreeing with him, so he'll push her, and she'll accidentally, like, I don't know, die, like, falling off of the stairs. And because he is rich and has power, he will, like, kind of, like, of course, don't go to jail. He'll, like, pay people to falsify the little documents and say that she just died of natural causes, when in reality he did kill her. So that's my prediction on how James' mom died. And talking about the Beaufort family, I think that Lydia will keep the baby, but I don't think that she will tell the father, which is the teacher, that she's pregnant. I don't think that she will, because she left him by saying, well, before she officially, like, stopped responding to his calls and stuff, they had an argument, Lydia and the teacher, and she said that he cannot stay with her and leave with her and start their new lives together because he loves his job so much. He loves the high school, he loves Maxton Hall so much, and he built up his, I wouldn't say fame, he's a teacher, but he built up his life for this moment, and she knows that it's unfair and he can't let all of that all of these efforts go wasted just because of her. So I think that because of that, she won't tell him that she's pregnant of their child. But I think she'll keep the baby. But not necessarily that she will raise the baby. Like, I think she may put the baby in adoption. These are my little prediction on Lydia's situation with the baby. And once she, like, got pregnant, well, completed her pregnancy, and, like, I don't know if she'll keep the baby or give it to adoption, but once that's figured out, I think that she'll have a little rebound moment with, wait, I wrote this character's name down. Cyril, whatever his name is. He's James' friend. He's the one who threw the party in, like, episode 3, I think. He's the one who, like, seems interested into Lydia. And I think she'll have a little rebound moment, but for her, he's just a rebound. But for him, like, he's been waiting for years, so he will really take it badly and at heart that she left him eventually, and he'll try to get revenge. I don't know how. I have written down that he will get revenge by exposing the pictures that James took of Ruby and the teacher on episode 1 when at the little school event that Ruby organized. Remember when she, like, went on and talked to the teacher and it was just the both of them, and she was telling him that he shouldn't be worried, she wouldn't tell his little secret that he has a relationship with Lydia, but she doesn't want to have anything to do with his teacher. She doesn't want his letter of recommendation anymore, blah blah blah. While that was happening, James took a picture of that, and we never heard of these pictures ever again. So I think that Cyril, his friend, I don't know how, will have access to these pictures. Maybe James sent it to the group chat, I don't know, because Cyril was there when James took the pictures, so he knows that these pictures exist. And he will expose them. Well, leak them, I guess. He will leak them because I guess it will hurt Lydia, because technically he's hurting the love of her life. So at the end of the day, he got his revenge. And yes, he's also hurting James, his friend's girlfriend. But, young dumb, he didn't think of that. So he'll spread the rumor that Ruby and the teacher had a little situation. Then, my other prediction is at the end, to close on with Lydia's character. I think, I don't know how she'll handle the situation. Maybe she'll confess that, I don't fucking know, didn't think of that. But I think that at the end of season 3 or season 2, I don't know, that Lydia will actually be in a relationship with Ruby's friend, the hot guy that I told you about, with the glasses, the nerdy guy. I think she'll end up with him. Because in my head, I'm like, she fell for a teacher. Teachers are like, have this little nerdy side. And this guy has one. So, in my head, these are same guy, different fonts, It's the same type of guy. So in my head, it's not that crazy that she'll end up with him. Like the bad bitch with the nerdy guy. Love these tropes. And I think you may be surprised. You're like, oh, I would think that the logical, like, ship that this guy will be with Lynn, Ruby's best friend, girl best friend. But I have other predictions for her. Just wait a little because I want to make it really structured. Wait a second. Okay. So my last prediction, no, not my last. Another prediction is, I think that one night Ruby and James will get into a fight, a really bad one. And then James will leave the room, the house, I don't know where they were. He will leave the room, and he let Ruby like alone, I guess, in this place. I don't know. He'll just leave her. Example, if they had an argument at Ruby's house, he'll just leave her house and just walk away. And then, because he's so angry and he needs to like think of something else, he will, at the same time, one of his friends will have a party. So he'll go to this party and he'll get himself so fucking hammered to the point where he blacks out. And when he does black out, Elaine, you know, the girl who's like obsessed with James, the rich girl who's sister with James' friend, the one who's like gay and has a relationship with Victor, kind of relationship, whatever. This girl, Elaine, she will see James blacking out and she will like, hey, like, I want to help you. And she really does want to help him because, you know, she's in love with him and she wants to take care of him. So she'll take him and she'll like put him on a bed to like, you know, not stay like in public in front of everyone else. She put him on the bed so he can like sleep in peace, and then she'll look at him and she'll have an idea. It's not getting dark, I promise. She will think to herself, what if I take a picture of James sleeping on a bed right now and I post it on my social medias so people think that James and I are in a relationship or that we have a thing. So she'll do that. And plus, she'll also do that because she wants to make Ruby jealous because she knows that she will ruin their relationship. So Ruby will see that on social media the same day, the same night, or the next day. She'll see that and she says, motherfucker, he fucking cheated on me. This fucking bitch with Eileen. And then she will confront him about that to James. And of course, he didn't cheat on her. He just slept. It's just Elaine who's Machiavellic and mean. But because he was so blacked out and he doesn't fucking remember a thing, he will, like, he does, when Ruby will confront him about it, he can't even defend himself because he doesn't fucking know what happened that night. But little does he know, he just slept. So that will be a whole thing. And of course they will break up because of that. And during once they have broken up, Ruby will of course feel super bad and sad and blah blah blah, and she'll have a little rebound situation, a little fling with the guy who's older than her, the brunette guy who's so freaking pretty, the one I was talking about again. I told about like 4 guys in this episode that was pretty, but anyways, the brunette guy who's at Oxford, the guy who James got jealous of, who like said the thing, oh, am I interrupting a date, blah blah blah. This guy, she'll have a little fling with this guy because of course this guy has a crush or has at least an interest towards Ruby. We all saw it during the Oxford episodes. But for Ruby, in her point of view, he's just a fling, like he's just a rebound. But for this guy, he'd want a little more. And now comes my little Miss Girl Lynn that I was talking to you guys about earlier. Then you see, parallel to that whole situation, Lynn would develop feelings toward that guy. I don't remember his name, I'm sorry. Toward that hot guy. She would develop feelings, but she wouldn't like tell. She didn't have time, at least, or the opportunity to tell Ruby that she has a crush on this guy. So when Ruby would tell her, oh, we had a fling, we like did some things, we hooked up, blah blah blah, she will snap. And she would like, it will create like a whole not anger. They will get into a fight, that's the word. They will get into a fight because of that. Even though Ruby shouldn't be the one to be blamed because she didn't know that her friend was attracted to this guy. So these are my predictions of Maxton Hall Season 2. I feel like I don't have a lot, but the few that I have are really like more in details. So I'm kind of happy for that. I'm super excited for Season 2. I have no words. I cannot stop seeing on my For You page edits of the show. They're all incredible. The dancing scene with Moth to a Flame by The Weeknd and the DJ band, I don't remember their name. Incredible. Like, I swear my life will be miserable if I don't experience that scene with someone before I have 25 years old. Like, if I don't, I have 3 years left to experience that scene with a hot, attractive man. And if I don't, I will get miserable. I will suffer in a way. I won't even start talking about it. But also the pool scene when he comes and rescued her and like holds her. This actor, I swear, his acting like abilities are out of this fucking world. I hope he gets so much recognition. I mean, even Ruby, like she played perfectly Ruby's character. But I was saying, I hope that James actor gets so much more recognition to see him in much more projects, because every feeling I felt it. The pain that he had, the anger, the way that he held Ruby as if she was like the most fragile, precious thing in this whole fucking world. It wasn't just a hug. I felt the emotions. I was able to read what he was thinking in that moment. Like, oh my fucking god. And the way that every time that he get in arguments with Ruby, or even, I think even in the good times, his eye will twitch a little bit. The impact, the effect that Ruby Hall has on James Paul Ford is, oh my god. And also, I almost forgot one of my favorite scenes. Oh my god. And it's like, it just like, it's a little like scene of like 2 seconds, but like it's one of my favorite, when they were all waiting at this Oxford class to like for their turn at the first round of interviews, and when it was finally Ruby's turn, she gets up and she was starting to leave the class, and then at the last second, James like does like this little like holds her hand and says like good luck. And during that moment, they were still like cold to each other, like they were like mean to each other and stuff. And the fact that he had this little vulnerable moment that it was too strong for him to even hold, and he just does that, I was like, God, I swear, if I'm still single by the age of 25, I don't want to say what I'll do, but I'll have to like, I'll have to change my identity and like move to another country, because oh my fucking god. But oh my god, thank you, Prime Video. This show was amazing. Thank you so much. But if I'm going to be super fucking honest, Cole Walter, no I don't. You still have my pum 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 heart. What the fuck? But like, I'm not lying, the way that Cole Walter made me feel. Oh my god. Anyways. Oh my god! Almost forgot to say. Can we talk about, I don't know if it was like they put a filter like every time that there will be a close-up on James' eyes, but his eyes are so blue, are like electric blue. It's so fucking pretty. I'm like not really a huge fan of blue eyes. Actually, I don't really give a fuck about blue eyes. I feel like when I was younger, I was obsessed with blue eyes, but now I don't really care, and sometimes I think it doesn't suit well someone. Sorry, but his eyes, I was like, I can literally just stare at him like this for like 5 minutes. Look like a fucking crazy person. But his eyes, oh my fucking, and his hair, the blonde hair like that, like typical like 90s Leo DiCaprio hair. Oh my fucking god. And sorry, I moved the mic. And his car, I fucking love. I don't know if it's like underrated or something, but I love when guys have I don't want to call it unconventional, but have something like special in their face. For example, it could be a scar. It could be if you have like what's the name of what's the name? If you have the little dots that people have on their faces. Oh my god, what's its fucking name of that? I look dumb. I don't even know the name in French. Tache de rousseur. That's the name in French. It's called freckles. When guys have freckles, or they can have like when one of their eyes a different color from the others, or when they have like I don't know what else. When they have something like a little different on their face, I'm like, that's so hot. Like, maybe that's why I used to and I still love guys who have braces and whatever. That's I don't get embarrassed. I'm proud to say that, but the way that my friends make me feel when I say that, I'm like, ooh, maybe I should be embarrassed. Anyways, but I'm super happy I watched the show. And I love the fact that it's short, because you know me. If you know me well, you know that I do not like rewatching shows and movies and stuff. Like, whatever. I don't really care. But this show, I can easily rewatch it back. And it's just 6 shorty episodes. I can do that. Other than that, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I am still in love with James Wolford. Sorry, my stomach made some weird noises. Again, it made some. But I wish you'll find your James Wolford. I wish you would find the love of your life who is treating you so fucking well, like a beautiful princess. And I wish that season 2 will come out by the summer of next year. And I wish I find a man before I get 25. On that note, have a beautiful night of sleep. I love you. Au revoir.